Build a thriving B2B business in 7 simple steps. In this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to do it, and I'm going to make it as clear and actionable as possible. So stick around to the end if you want to build a business that actually scales. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. Right, hello everyone. So yeah, in today's video, we're going to be going through how you can build a thriving B2B business in literally just 7 steps. I'm going to make it as simple as possible and basically break down the overarching concepts and actually put them into a simple 7-step guide that you guys can follow. So I'll get straight into it. The first step is obviously going to be crafting your offer. Now, without an offer, you don't have a business. You don't know who you help, what you help them with, and how you're actually going to help them. And that is something you need so that you have clarity when you're talking to prospects and you're actually trying to pitch your service. You need to have clarity on your offer. And obviously, we want to craft a no-brainer offer that no one's going to say no to unless they're out of their mind. So how are we going to do that? So basically, step 1 is understanding market sophistication. Now, market sophistication is basically understanding, it's basically the degree that your market understands what problem you solve. So the very first level of market sophistication is that the audience is unaware that they even have a problem. They're unaware of the problem at hand that is holding their business back. So every business has problems, right? And if you're crafting a B2B offer, all you need to do is solve one of those problems, right? So the first step is they're going to be unaware of the problem. The second step is the audience are aware that they have a problem, but they're unaware of the solution. They're running a business, they're facing this one problem, and they don't know how to solve it, okay? So then the level 3 is that the audience knows the solutions. Now, obviously, you want them to know you as the solution. You want to come up with a solution, build your offer, and they are going to look to you for that solution, okay? But the problem is, at this point, at level 3, the audience knows the solutions. They know that you can fix it, but they don't trust you yet. So that is why they're not going to buy. People buy from people when, first of all, they know that you have the solution and they trust you. That's when they buy. That is the sort of formula that you need in order to have a client pay you. So that takes us to level 4, where the audience has seen all the solutions, they know the solutions, right? But they need something truly unique that stands out that they want to pay for, right? They're looking for the best version of that solution, which you want to be you, okay? So we want to take our audience to level 4, where they trust us, they know that we have the solutions, and they know that we have the best solutions that's unique and stands out, okay? So understand that. Keep that in the back of your mind as I talk through the rest of this. So step 2 is basically understanding demand generation versus demand capture. So demand generation is basically the idea of educating potential clients who are unaware of their need for your services, okay? So the way that you create demand is you educate people on the problem, right? If they're at level 1 and the audience is unaware of the problem, then we need to educate our clients on the fact that they have a problem, right? This requires obviously a long-term strategy. We're talking content marketing and outreach, regardless of what you're doing, whether it's content or you're outreaching or you're running ads, okay? The main thing that you need to be doing is educating your potential clients on the problems they have and then also the solutions that you have. That is the main thing. They need to understand that they have a problem and they need to understand that you have the solution, okay? And through content marketing, the longer you do it, right, and outreach as well, the longer that you do it, the more credibility you build, the more they're going to trust you, the more they're going to know you for a specific solution, okay? And then they're going to come to you when they're aware that they have the problem. When they know that they have the problem and they look at you as the solution, they will come to you, right? They're not going to go searching for someone else because you are the person who's presented it to them, okay? So then the second part of this is demand capture. So this is actually targeting the clients who are already searching up for your solution. So that takes us to the basics of SEO, is capturing clients who already want your services, okay? They're going to be the easiest clients to close when they've searched for you, okay? So this is focusing on, first of all, high converting funnels. So when people that are interested in your offer come onto your website, it's highly converting and stands out against, just a basic website. It's got testimonials, it's got a clear process that, you take them through. And there's immediate follow-up. So this is basically including anything in terms of they opt in, you need to immediately follow up with these people. So those are basically the two simple steps that you need to basically get potential clients on booked calls, which is where you're going to be selling them, right? You need to create demand by educating potential clients of the problem and that you have the solution, right? And this can be done through a bunch of different ways. And then you need to capture that demand. So once the demand's there in terms of you have people searching for your offer, You have people that know they have a problem. You have a list of maybe warm leads that you've outreach to, explain the things that they're missing, and explains the solutions you have, right? Then it's a case of capturing that demand, okay, to actually sell them. And the way to capture that demand is obviously, first of all, being in contact with them with follow ups via call, SMS, text message, voicemail, even whatever it is, right? There's tons of ways that we can actually communicate with our clients, right? Or target clients, okay? But then also capturing people who are already searching up for the solution. So you want to look at people who are on websites searching for solutions, in Facebook groups searching for solutions, right? Put yourself in front of the people who already know that they have the problem. They're already at maybe potentially level 3, right? Or level 2 in terms of they know that, no, level 3. So we want them to know that they have a problem and be searching for solutions. Yeah, so we want them at level 2 even. So we want them to know they have a problem. We want them to be searching for solutions. And in terms of demand capture, it's the idea of getting ourselves in front of them so that they look at us as the solution. We get ourselves in front of them when they're already looking for a problem, because that basically reduces the need to rely on any sort of like sales psychology. You don't need to force the sale. They've come to you and you're in the right place at the right time to capture the demand and close them. Okay. So these are just things to basically keep in mind. And this is all in terms of crafting your offer. Okay. So then step 3 is going to be pricing your services. Now, how are we going to price our product? How are we going to price our service? Now, this depends massively on the market you're in, first of all. How much impact is it going to have? So look at the financial benefit that they're going to gain from it. And as long as you price it less than that, they're going to pay for it, okay? But also look at how much money do these guys have on average to dispose of each month or upfront, depending on how you're pricing it, okay? So if you don't want price to be an objection, anytime that someone uses price as an objection, all it means is that they don't see the value. It literally just means that they don't see the value in your offer. They don't see that they're going to be getting more than what they're paying. Because if someone, for example, said, I'm going to give you £1,000,000, but it's going to cost you 100K, right? No matter what, you are going to go and find 100 grand from somewhere, okay? Whether it's getting a loan, whether it's asking friends, right? If the value is there, if the offer makes sense, you will find a way to get the money. And this will be the same for business owners, because a lot of the time what they're actually saying when they say it's too much is, I don't trust you, I don't see the value, okay? So if we're looking at, and this is a great book, by the way, for anyone to read in terms of crafting an offer, is Alex Hormozi's $100 million offers, okay? Here's a simple framework, okay? So the first is solve a big problem. The bigger the problem, the more you can charge for it. You can solve the exact same problem in a small market and a massive market, and it might be the exact same service. It might take the exact like same amount of time to do, but because of who you're doing it for, it could be worth completely 10 times the amount. And because you're basically creating a result that is 10 times the amount, you can actually charge 10 times the amount. Okay, so then offer a desirable solution. Okay, so your solutions should be simple. It shouldn't be complicated for them to implement. It shouldn't mean necessarily more work for them. It should be something that they are looking for, and it should also be unique. Okay, this is something to note down. If you are offering the same thing that a million people have pitched to them, like, they're very unlikely to basically come to you, because you blend in with everyone else who's pitched them before. So you want to come up with a unique mechanism, whether it's just a new name for it or a specific solution that is can only be found at your company. Okay, offer a desirable solution that's something they haven't tried before. It doesn't include all of the stuff that they've already been offered. It's something new that fixes their problem. Okay, that is a desirable solution. Okay, make your offer tangible and easy to understand. Tangible in terms of real, like make it something that's clear as day and it links to the results, in terms of you're not just giving them a pipe dream. You're not just selling them the dream of like, yeah, we're going to take you 100K. We're going to take you to 100K a month, right? Have a clear process in terms of what you're going to do for them, the results that it's likely to achieve or guaranteed to achieve, okay? And make it easy for them to understand. So you don't necessarily need to pitch to them all of the back-end systems that you're going to be running. You need to pitch to them the results they're going to get and the mechanisms that you're going to be using to do it. That's all they really need to understand. Whether like there's more complex stuff, you don't need to explain it to them. You simply have to have them Understand that you're going to take them through XYZ process and they're going to get XYZ result. Okay. That's what people are looking for. And then the fourth point is using risk reversal. Okay. So an example of this is a money back guarantee. A risk reversal is just anything that you can do and say to basically lower the amount of risk that it is to them, right? Whether that's, and there's a bunch of different ways of doing this. You can have a money back guarantee. You could have a 10x value guarantee, right? You could have we guarantee you get X amount of results, or you can have something like, if it doesn't work, we will work for you for free until it does. Or if it doesn't work, we will completely refund you. If it doesn't work, we will refund you and pay you another 5,000 as an apology. So you can even go even further to really reduce risk, right? And you want to create it so that the risk isn't on them and the risk is on you, because that will make them feel safe. If they can feel safe paying you for something, knowing that if it doesn't work, they're not going to be completely like ruined, right? It's not going to completely be detrimental to their business. If you can just basically put in something that is going to make them feel safe, they're going to be much more likely to go for your offer. Okay. So an example for agencies, we've got a low sophistication market. So this would be something quite simple. We'll create high performing ad campaigns for you and guarantee 3 times ROI within 60 days or your money back. So that is your offer. Okay. First of all, it's clear what you're doing. It's clear the results. We're looking at 3 times ROI within 60 days. We've got a time frame, so it's clear as day what the terms are of the offer. Okay. And if it doesn't happen, like, we give you your money back. There's the reversal, right? So this is a great offer in terms of, we create high performing ad campaigns. That's what we do. You're going to get a 3x ROI. That's the result. And the guarantee is that it's within 60 days or your money back. Okay. Simple as. So that is a clear example for an agency. Another one that would be slightly higher sophistication, slightly more complicated. And again, in terms of the sophistication you're using, it depends on the target market. Okay. If you're targeting potentially, let's say, tech companies, you might use a high sophistication offer such as this. Whereas if you're targeting potentially hair salons, you need, where they're not looking for something super complicated, they're looking for something simple just to bring them results they need, right? Then you're going to use something low sophistication. Okay. But if we're looking at high sophistication, then we're looking at something like, we use our proprietary AI driven ad system. So what you see here, right? This is the unique mechanism that I'm talking about, in terms of, a lot of people won't have heard this before. This is a new way of doing things. It's something they haven't tried, but it does the same result, which is deliver cost efficient campaigns, saving you 20% while doubling your conversion rate, right? So what do we do? First of all, we use our proprietary AI driven ad system, right? This is an exciting phrase, right? It sparks curiosity, first of all. So people are going to be interested in this. They're like, okay, I haven't tried that before. What does that do? Okay, then you've got the results that it gives. So in this case, it's deliver cost-efficient campaigns. So you're pitching the cost saving, and you're basically it's not guaranteed here in terms of, you haven't used the word guarantee, but you're saying we save you 20% while doubling your conversion rates, right? And you could have a guarantee in there that literally says we save you 20% while doubling your conversion rates, or you don't pay, right? And there's the risk reversal. So those are just a couple of examples of a good offer. And as simple as it sounds, what you need to do when you're building a business, the very first thing is get clarity on your offer. Get clear as day on who you help, what you help them with, and how you're going to do it, and have some sort of risk reversal. Because the amount of times I see people who are starting an agency, right, or starting a B2B business, right, if they get asked a simple question in terms of, like, what do you do, right, or like, what are you going to help with, they actually are slightly stuck, and they'll start pitching like, oh, we can implement this, we can implement this. It's like, no, what are you going to do for us? And this is where you need a clear as day offer, which should be literally just a sentence or two in the form of this. Okay. It should be a clear offer of what you're going to use, what the results are going to be, and then some form of risk reversal. That's a good offer simplified down. Okay. So then once we've got a good offer, we're going to be moving on to stage 2. So this is going to be building the right funnel. Now, a funnel is just the way that you are actually going to capture clients, right? And capture attention. Okay. Where attention goes, money flows. And we're going to want a funnel, literally a funnel, to take the initial attention of the people who don't know they have a problem, but they're our target market, and funneling them slowly down to the point where they close and they pay us, right? So we're slowly funneling them down, in our sales funnel, right? So here's the ideal setup for agencies and B2B businesses. The first one is obviously getting your tools for the funnel. How are you going to build your funnel? Okay. A lot of the key things is we need a landing page, we need a VSL, we need case studies if we have them, and a clear call to action, okay? So we're trying to move them down from, first of all, they're just aware of us, all the way down to booking a call, right? That is our funnel. And then obviously at the end of that, we're going to close them and pitch them on the sales call where it's a lot easier to sell them, okay? So we can use sites like Go High Level, which we give you unlimited in the community anyway. So you can use Go High Level or ClickFunnels or Card as well. There's a bunch of different sites for it. Create a simple landing page. Now, there's tons of examples out there. I'm not going to go into how to craft a perfect landing page in this video. We're just trying to go through the 7 steps, but we need a simple landing page, okay? And maybe I'll make another video on how to make a great simple landing page. So follow me, and yeah, you can stay up to date with my content and potentially see something like that down the line. But the things you're going to need to include is a concise video sales letter. And in fact, I've actually got a video planned for how to craft a winning VSL. So this is basically just a video of you talking through your services, talking through the benefits, why people should choose you, some of your previous results, and basically just it's a full video pitch, basically there to convince the customer that you are the person they need to go to, okay? Then we're going to want compelling case studies. This is another form of risk reversal in terms of people can see that other people have had similar results. They're much more likely to go for it, okay? Now, if you don't have any testimonials or case studies and you're just starting out, right, what I would recommend you do is, one option is you go to people in your niche for free and offer to work for them for free in order to get case studies, or simply have some results that you've generated from yourself, some proof of concept in some way or another, some stats in terms of like the systems you're using and proof of them working. Have some form of, it doesn't necessarily have to be a case study from a client, right? It just needs to be some form of evidence that what you say you can do is the truth. What you are pitching does work, okay? And it's not just, because otherwise you're just another guy saying, yeah, I can run you ads and get you a 10x ROI, right? And if you can't, then, and you've got no proof of it, why should they believe you? Okay, so there just has to be some sort of evidence within that landing page, whether it's literally just as simple as a review from someone saying, I worked with this person, they did great work. And you can get those by working for free, because if you work for free, it's quite easy to sign clients, okay? Believe it or not. Yeah, and then obviously the last bit is a call to action, a clear call to action at the end to either book a call or a consultation. And I'd highly recommend phrasing this in another way and having it as something, again, unique, makes it more enticing for people. So it could either be a discovery call, a strategy call, a strategy session. Just have your own little name for it in terms of what it is. Because if you like have it as, you know, book a sales call, right? No one's going to book it. So just have it as something slightly more attractive, okay? Yeah, we can even see here, I've mentioned the step 2, no case studies, no problem. Offer trial work or discounted services to build a portfolio. Highlight measurable results from even one-off projects. Use hypothetical ROI examples. So this is exactly what I've mentioned in terms of just having some form of evidence, some form of pure fact that can't be argued with to back up what you're offering, okay? So now, that takes us on to step 3, okay? We have our offer, we have a clear offer, we have a simple funnel that's going to take people through this stage of it's going to take them through these 4 steps in terms of they're unaware of the problem, right? But if we target them correctly, they're going to be into our landing page where we make them aware of the problem. The VSL is going to make them aware that we're the solution. And then obviously the compelling case studies and the call to action is going to get them to actually book a call with you. Okay. So how do we, now that we have this offer, we have a funnel for the offer, how are we going to get people into the funnel and funnel them down to the point where they're sat in front of us and we can actually sell to them? Okay. So what I would use personally, and this is one of the most like beginner friendly, I would say, is cold email campaigns. Okay. They're not expensive and you can scale them so unbelievably high and very quickly as well. So here's how you're going to master. So step 1 is obviously understanding your offer's fit. And this comes back to the idea of market sophistication, okay? Basically understanding, right,
where your customers are in the terms of sophistication, right? Understand whether they're even aware of the problem. And if they're not, then what should we be focusing on? Educating the prospect on the problem and why your services matter and why it's a impact that they want to have, right? Whereas if you're focusing a market where they know they've got this problem, right, and they know the solutions, okay, you need to focus on personalizing it to them, okay, because they've heard it all before, but you need to highlight the results, okay, and your results need to be better than the next guys because they're when it's high sophistication, okay, they're aware they've got this problem, they're aware there's a bunch of solutions out there, and they're only going to buy the one that is personalized, specific to them, and has the best outcome. So that's what you need to focus on in your marketing, okay? So obviously, once you've got that, that's how you're going to focus on crafting your email. And I'm not going to do a full copywriting session, okay? We're going to give you a couple examples, okay? But that's something that you can work on yourself. But it's just having the idea of understanding where your offer fits within the market and whether the people that you're pitching to even know about the service or whether they know about the service, know about the solution, and simply just need the specific mechanism with the best outcome, because that's going to completely change how you pitch it, okay? So once we've got that sorted, we're going to move on to step 2, which is obviously figuring out how we're going to send out these cold emails. So for list scraping and actually getting lists of emails, there's a bunch of ways to do it. One of which is going to be Apollo.io, which is a website which basically generates you leads using AI. It's a very useful tool. It's basically like a data scraper. It's paid, but it's a great way to basically generate a bunch of email leads, and you can do it in any niche. But let's say you're a complete beginner, you have no money. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to use data scrapers. So what you'll see here, if I actually go in my, no, we don't want to go on that. We're going to go here, instant data scraper I've got attached here, right? So we don't need that. So yeah, basically there's a bunch of data scrapers out there. Google, it's a Google Chrome extension called Instant Data Scraper. What you can actually do is go onto directories, right? And just scrape data manually and get it into a CSV file, which you can then import into like sites like instantly.io, which is great for sending emails, or Go High Level, where you can actually, automate and personalize email campaigns, and you can just input leads into an email campaign very easily. And this is something that basically you want to scale up by just slowly adding emails. You don't want to do them all at once. And I would look into email warm up as well to increase your deliverability. But instantly.io is something that you can help with, that will help with deliverability as well. But yeah, so if you don't have any money for Apollo.io or similar sites like LeadSwift, you can use simple data scrapers and go do it manually yourself very easily. So obviously, now that we've got the systems to generate a bunch of email leads and send a bunch of emails, obviously, what we're going to put in the emails. So I would keep it very simple and value based. Okay, I wouldn't email them and say, here's what I want to do, here's what I can do, here's why it's helped, right? That is a basic pitch that everyone has received an email before and everyone has heard before. And what I would always think about is, would I respond to this? Would I respond to this email? And if the answer is no, then don't expect anyone to respond to it. But don't be surprised when no one does. Okay. I would focus on value first. So in this case, it's, that your subject is going to be, first of all, address their name if you can. It always gets a better response rate. Here's an idea for XYZ company, okay? So give them something. Give them a reason to listen to you. You could literally say, I noticed this. I specialize in doing this. Give a bit of credibility to yourself. Here's what I would do. And this is a great approach, okay? Literally just giving them advice, because whether they want to go through you or not, you're giving them something that's going to help their business. So actually just explain and you can even send them a Loom video, which is another way of doing this. Give them your expertise. Film a video, give away all the secrets. Tell them what you would do for them. Tell them what you would do in their position, what would help them grow. And then they will come to you for the implementation if they're happy with it. If it's a good offer and you've made it clear about the results, they're going to come to you for the implementation. They're going to look at you as the solution because you've put yourself in front of them and you've educated them. Okay, so that's the best way to do it. So then obviously have a call to action. Always ask a question so they're likely to respond. Are you available for a quick chat? And then based on that, that's going to be obviously the whole aim is we're going to try and get them on a booked call through this. So again, don't expect people to respond to the first email. I would suggest having a probably 12 to 15 email sequence where it's follow-ups until they respond, right? And this is easily set up on Go High Level and other sites as well. Have an email campaign that is constantly following up, constantly providing value, and have that campaign only stop once they responded, okay? Be relentless. It doesn't make you annoying. It makes you persistent and shows that you actually are interested in them more than they think, right? So once we've done that and we've sent out a bunch of emails, okay, we basically need to build a full sales process. We can't just send emails with nothing going on the back end, right? So cold email generates leads by sparking interest. So a lead is just anyone who could potentially be interested, right? They've shown interest, right? So the cold email, once we send a bunch of emails, we get a bunch of leads, plug them into campaigns and send a lot of emails, we're going to have a bunch of leads. We're going to have people who are interested, right? How do we convert these leads into like a closed deal, right? So an example sales process would be an initial discovery call, which is what we could be pitching for on these emails, right? Then it's going to be a value presentation call where you're actually going to be explaining the entire offer. You're actually going to try and sell them. Discovery call is going to be a point where you're going to potentially uncover all of their issues, right? Explain to them that you can take it away and potentially come back to them with something useful. Okay. Then it's closing the deal. And the sales process is basically an idea of just providing them enough value to the point they trust you. And then once they trust you and you pitch them a no-brainer offer that we've made at the start, then they're likely to pay you to do it, right? They're going to close the deal because they're educated on the problem. You're the person who's educated them. You've provided them value. You've showed your expertise and you've presented a solution. They're going to come to you. Okay. So I would have a clear sales process and I would build a pipeline in a CRM like Go High Level to track leads and automate follow-up. So I would have the leads going through this process. I would have a pipeline that was these 3 stages. Okay. And potentially would start with cold outreach, initial discovery call, value presentation call, closed deal, right? That would be my pipeline, those 4 steps, okay? And I would use a CRM to track them because the more you can track your leads and get data from them, the more you can make data-driven decisions and ultimately drive results. So yeah, we're going to be automating constant follow-ups until we get people to reply. And then as people reply and as more emails go out, you'll see that your leads slowly work their way through this pipeline, right? This sales process, okay? And then it's just a case of figuring out how much volume you need to do. And I promise you, it'll always be more volume than you expect is needed. It's going to be for the first like 3 to 5 clients that you sign, you're going to need to acquire them through literally pure grit in terms of unbelievable amounts of outreach, unbelievable amounts of follow-ups, unbelievable amounts of value given because why should they trust you? You have no case studies, okay? Those first few, you're going to have to do it through pure volume, okay? Volume negates luck. So the more volume you can do, the more lucky you're going to get, okay? So that's what I would do, okay? And now, once we've done that enough and we've got enough people into our funnel that have worked their way through the pipeline to get to a point where we've got them on a call and we've potentially closed the deal, right? That will happen through enough calls, okay? With enough volume, you will find someone who's interested enough and you can close the deal, okay? Now, once we've closed the deal, this becomes the point where we can start scaling, okay? Because we've got our first client, okay? That gives us a little bit of momentum, but we need to ensure consistent fulfillment, okay? We need to ensure that they're going to get everything that we've promised, okay? So, first points, okay, is going to be defining the clear deliverables, right? Ensure every single client knows exactly what they're paying for. So, this first of all starts with the offer in terms of having clarity on what you offer, what you do, and how you're going to do it, okay? Then it's a case of defining the clear deliverables. Have information available, and this can all be automated in terms of an email sent out that's a welcome letter, okay? But the way it works is you need to have your customer completely clear on when they're going to receive the services, how they're going to receive the services, anything that you need from them to deliver the services, and basically everything around that, right? You need to have them clear as day on what they're receiving, what channels they're receiving it through, and you want to keep them updated with the progress, okay? So have a time frame that you're going to be following so that they know. It gives them confidence, makes them considerably more likely to stay with you if it's a retainer as well. Have a clear set of deliverables that you're going to be following, right? so they can follow along as well and check that you're doing everything you've promised. Okay. Step 2 is implementing automation. Now, this is unbelievably essential. Okay. Using tools like Go High Level, Make.com, Zapier, and these are all stuff that I'm extremely proficient in, and is basically the center of the entire community. Okay. You can use these to basically automate your service delivery. You can streamline every single part of task management and reporting in terms of you can automate the collection of the information you need from the client, okay? And you can automate the reporting in terms of the results, the service that's been delivered, when it's been delivered, how it's been delivered. All of that reporting can be automated in terms of just basic email campaigns, SMSs, access to certain resources, for example. We can automate all of that, okay? And the more you do, the more time it's going to give you to focus on the actual service, okay? Which is, let's say, in this case, paid ads. It means that you can automate everything around it and know that there's a clear system that they go through, right? But you only have to step in at the point where your expertise are needed, where your skill is needed. For example, in paid ads, right? Or in funnel building or in copywriting, right? If it's a B2B business, the way you scale is by only being involved where you're needed, which is the actual skill itself. Everything around that, in terms of the service delivery, all of the small admin tasks that you need done to deliver your service and deliver on your skill, should all be automated where possible. Okay, then it's going to be a case of setting KPIs, right? Setting key performance indicators. You want to track key metrics like return on investment, you know, money saved, engagement rates, ad performance, and this is assuming it's a like paid ads agency, right? But whatever it is, whatever results you've promised, you need to track those. You need to set the KPIs. So if you've promised that you're going to like save them 20%, understand what that looks like, and that is what we're aiming for. Okay. Whereas if you've promised them a 3x ROI, understand what that looks like in terms of an ad, and then that's what we're aiming for. Okay. So set those clear KPIs, set the expectation clear with the client, right? And then you and your team have something to focus on. Okay. And that takes us to step 6, which is the next step that I would take, which would be hiring the right team. Once we've signed those first few clients and we've got a bit of money in the door, in order to actually scale, right? We're not going to be able to scale on our own. We need to outsource things and basically get it to a point where we're only involved where we need to be. So that includes hiring the right team. So build a hiring funnel. Now, this would look something like using platforms like Upwork, LinkedIn. There's a bunch of other places to hire like VAs for specific like admin tasks as well. Create skill-specific tests to assess expertise before hiring. One thing I would really recommend, speak to ChatGPT, get it to craft you a hiring plan. Get it to craft your job description by giving it some information. And then you can just basically as if you were signing clients, spam outreach on sites like Upwork or LinkedIn to actually find candidates for the specific skills you need. Focus on a cultural fit. That's one thing that I would 100% focus on, is actually having a team that aligns with your company goals. Do not have someone who is there just for the money. Have someone who understands your industry, understands your purpose, and at least then, no matter the work they do, it's going to be aligned with your goals. Okay. Then a key point of systemizing your business is actually training them with SOPs and building SOPs. Now, an SOP can literally just be a document, but what it is a standard operating procedure. In other words, the way you do things. Okay. So have a set of documents or a set of resources that clearly outline the standard ways that you want things done. Look at the ways that you've done things in the past and the ways that you want things done going forward, and craft that into a simple document that anyone who's hired can follow like super easily. Okay. And then it becomes a case of hiring someone for each step, giving them the SOPs, and then they manage it. Okay. And as long as they're managing it for a cost that is like makes sense, right? As long as it's not breaking the bank and you're still profitable on the people you sign, it makes sense to sign them. Okay. Because it means you can scale higher, and it means that you can focus your time on just acquiring new clients, knowing full well that the full system is in the background, running smoothly, and the business is scaling naturally because through referrals, through testimonials, like through word of mouth. Basically, if a business is set up properly and systemized properly, it will grow naturally through word of mouth and referrals. Whereas if you're missing these key SOPs, clear parts of automation within the sales funnel, within the service delivery funnel, right? If you're missing the systems, right, then it will be way harder for you to scale, okay? So that's something to focus on. And then the final step, we're borderline at the point of maybe we might be up to like, 10, 15K at this point, 20K, if we've done everything correctly, okay? And we're just focusing on pitching the offer and finding the people that want it, right? The next step that I would 100% do, and this is something that I've been focusing on for the last like 8 months now, almost a year, is building your personal brand. Now, this looks different in every industry in terms of what like platform you're on, but building your personal brand in today's day and age is unbelievably, like, it's not essential, but I think it makes you stand out so much and it gives you such a competitive edge against anyone who doesn't have a personal brand that you should be doing it. Okay. So step one would be figuring out content marketing strategies. First of all, find out where your key, like your ideal customer hangs out, right? Where do they hang out? What platforms are they on? If it's an older demographic, it might be Facebook. Slightly younger, it might be Instagram. Okay. But what we're going to be doing, for me personally, in this case, on LinkedIn, I would be sharing industry insights and case studies. Okay, that's all I would be doing. I would be showing my expertise and showing my client results. Okay, YouTube, like as I am here, I'm going to be going into more depth. Okay, I'm going to be going into the what and why behind my services. I might create sort of a brand, and people will buy from you if they agree with your sort of purpose, right? So I would communicate my purpose. My purpose here on this YouTube channel is to educate people on systemizing a business, right? Scaling through systemization, automating bits of the business that you probably wouldn't even know that you could automate, okay? And basically scaling to a point where they have their dream business, okay? That is my purpose, right? And that is why I hope that you guys follow me, okay? So that would be the focus on YouTube, and also going into more depth on sort of key concepts to do with my offer. I would be focusing on educating people, because people who come to your YouTube, right, who are at, the very first level of market sophistication and they're completely unaware, right, we need to educate them before they're ever going to be a client of ours. We need to educate them. So that's what would be my focus on YouTube. Instagram, for me, is more a place where you're going to capture attention. All right, short form content, people aren't necessarily watching short form content to learn, right? They're watching it because their brain chases dopamine, and yeah, we've got a good hook in there, for example, to catch their attention. So I would share bite-sized tips that are very digestible in a short video, and basic updates to bring people along the journey of the business, right? And this, as much as you might not see an immediate response in terms of clients, I think with a personal brand, the opportunities that it opens you up for down the line are just massive, okay? Like, you're looking at, first of all, hiring opportunities. Some of the first appointment setters I hired came directly through my personal brand, okay? Because they knew me, they trusted me, they followed me, and they would have loved to work for me, okay? So that is one thing, makes it easier to hire. I think you can network with individuals and learn so much about your competitors by having a personal brand as well. And also, the longer you have it, the more sort of reputation you will build. It's content that is basically evergreen. A piece of content will sit on a platform forever, and anyone who goes through your page and sees that bit of content, no matter how old it is, if it's valuable, then that could sell them. That could be the reason they buy from you. That one video that you posted 2 years ago could be the sole reason that someone buys from you today. Okay. And that is the great thing about social media, is that it's evergreen. Okay. Once you post something, it's there forever. And if it shows your expertise, it's going to show your expertise forever. Okay. Obviously it might not be relevant, but you get the idea. Okay. So step two, and this is obviously the ideal scenario. First of all, building your personal brand, regardless of whether it converts or not. It's extremely useful, and I can't recommend it enough. But what we are going to focus on is creating content that converts. So we're going to be focusing on educational posts that solve common problems. So we need to educate our prospects on the problems that they have, right? We need to educate them on the solutions so they look to us as the solution. We want personal stories, okay, to humanize your brand. People buy from people, okay? Do not just be that robot that reads a script from ChatGPT. Talk about your own experience, your own case studies, and your own stories, and your own expertise and where you've got them from. So people actually look at you as a person and an authority figure, right, that they're going to come to fix their problems, right? Then we're going to have regular call to actions to actually encourage inquiries. Now, sometimes people shy away from call to actions because they're scared that it looks too salesy, but believe it or not, if you don't have call to actions, there will be people there who are interested, who actually just don't know how to get your service. So give them a call to action and it makes it easy for them. Okay. Then step 3 is going to be leveraging AI tools to make content creation something that it's going to be a habit, right? It's not going to be a task, because you're going to have clear systems that make it really easy for you to come up with ideas. A couple sites I like are Jasper, okay, ChatGPT. There's a bunch of pre-trained ChatGPTs, and I actually have a full document that gives you a bunch of prompts and stuff, which is really useful, which I might link down below. But yeah, using these sites makes it really easy to brainstorm ideas, come up with hooks, come up with basic video ideas. I would recommend mixing them in with a bit of like humanization, in terms of have your own idea, give it to ChatGPT. It might help you flesh out a script, and then obviously you can tweak it. But that's going to help you stay consistent with your personal brand. And then if I followed all of these steps in terms of consistently outreaching, and then once I've outreached, collecting testimonials, building my personal brand on the back of that, that's how I would scale a B2B business should I start from scratch, right? If I was to start from scratch again, I would do these exact steps. I would go through and I would keep it simple, right? And do not overcomplicate it. The steps I've gone through today are, to an extent, all you need. Everything else can be tweaked and perfected later down the line. In terms of actually scaling a business, you need to focus on the core needle movers, basically. What are the core things that's going to be pushing you forward? It's building a funnel, building a good offer, pushing people into that funnel, right? Educating them, giving them value, getting them on a call, closing them, obviously delivering the service as promised, collecting testimonials, and in my opinion, in 2024, going into 2025 very soon, building your personal brand is also essential, right? Because if you're not doing it, someone else is, and people are going to be more likely to go to them for the solution, okay? So then I've just put at the end, finally, we scale to the moon. That is the overall goal. But yeah, so 7 simple steps there. I'll leave some information, some additional like resources, and I'll leave this Google Doc in the... I've spoken too much. I've lost my way. I will leave the link to this document in the description so you guys can check it out and actually follow it. And hopefully this video has provided you guys some value. As you can see, I've talked way too much and I'm running out of words. But yeah, hopefully that will help you guys out. Follow the 7 steps. You'll have a B2B before you know it. And yeah, so I will catch you guys in the next one. Like and subscribe if you found this valuable. And yeah.